Hello one and all, and welcome to the extra part for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. About a month ago now we managed to beat this game, and I'm really happy with how the Let's Play turned out, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff in this game we couldn't get to explore in that series. In fact, that's part of the reason I love this game so much. There's so much to it. If you were to have one Sega Genesis game, well, technically two, this is the one to have. Because though we played through the entire game with the duo Sonic and Tails, there's actually a few other ways to play the game, including just as Sonic alone, or as Tails alone, just like in Sonic 2. But Tails alone here works so much better than in Sonic 2, and actually much better than in Sonic Chaos. In Sonic Chaos, his flying was kind of clunky, admittedly, but here it's so much more fluid. Just jumping in midair allows us to fly around different stages. Most everything about Tails makes the game way easier. The one exception is the Act 2 boss of Marble Garden Zone, where our only method of attacking is hitting with a propeller. Be very careful not to touch that drill. One other thing that makes Tails actually a bit more challenging is that if we collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds, we get nothing. Yeah, same as Sonic 2, there's no such thing as Super Tails. However, there's a bit of a correction once we get into the Knuckles portion of the game. If we manage to collect all of the Hyper Emeralds, we do unlock a super form, or rather, a hyper form, Hyper Tails. And Hyper Tails is amazing. Not only are we invincible, faster, and fly faster, but we also have these flickies surrounding us, who will go and attack enemies, bosses. You can make an absolute joke out of everybody. Speaking of making a joke, one moment I really liked is with the Act 1 Sandopolis boss here, where you can just fly in the corner and the guy will gladly jump into the sand. There you go. And although you do unlock Hyper Tails, there's no Doomsday Zone, so as soon as you beat Death Egg and its bosses, you're done. You do get a special better ending, but that's about all for Tails' playthrough. It's basically just kind of a watered-down version of Sonic with a couple of neat things here and there, and a little bit easier, I'd say. Now, Knuckles is a bit more different. See, in the base game, there are a lot of areas that are specifically locked off behind tough walls to break through, or maybe needing to climb up to a certain area. So Knuckles actually has a lot of different branches of the levels you normally wouldn't be able to explore. Also, you're not constantly encountering Knuckles along zones like Carnival Night trolling you, since you are Knuckles. So a lot of these zones take a very different direction. In fact, Knuckles' playthrough is technically a sequel, as it takes place after Sonic 3 and Knuckles. While the Master Emerald's been restored, there's something strange going on with Angel Island as it's tipping back and forth. So Knuckles is off to investigate. Knuckles' gameplay is a little interesting. His jump is significantly shorter, which I really don't like, but he is able to glide across and climb up walls, Ninja Gaiden 2 style. Now, Knuckles can collect all the Chaos Emeralds and unlock Super Knuckles, which is pretty good, but he can also unlock all the Hyper Emeralds and get Hyper Knuckles, so it's very weird how both Sonic and Knuckles have 2 different transformation levels, but Tails just has the one. Oh, by the way, since Knuckles' playthrough is actually a sequel and we already dealt with Robotnik, we're instead dealing with this Egg Robo, who's very take charge, I guess. And he seems to be perfectly mimicking just about every boss. Although for some reason the Act 2 boss on Flying Battery is still Eggman, I think that's a mistake. Possibly because a sprite for Egg Robo wouldn't work there, I don't know. I guess they just didn't bother. Knuckles' playthrough ultimately ends in Sky Sanctuary Zone instead of Death Egg, because I mean, the Death Egg has already been taken care of. And what do you face in Sky Sanctuary? Why, it's Mecha Sonic, who's still alive. It was kind of hinted at in Sonic's playthrough, since Mecha Sonic just kind of slowly fell. He's gotta be somewhere, after all. It makes for a pretty epic fight, and a neat reversal of Hidden Palace Zone, where you were Sonic fighting Knuckles, now you're Knuckles fighting a version of Sonic. But yeah, Knuckles' playthrough ends here. I will say, Tails and Knuckles' playthroughs are not quite the main game you should start with. You should 100% start with Sonic's playthrough. It's the most full, it's the most enjoyable. He can actually make use of the special elemental shields as abilities. Like, don't get me wrong, you're still going to be immune to drowning with the bubble shield, or immune to lava with the fire shield, all that stuff. But because hitting jump in midair with Tails and Knuckles activates either their flight or their glide abilities, you don't get the forward boost you would get with, say, the fire shield, or the double jump with the electric shield, which I really miss. Although I will say, it's very genius that the characters are similar to Sonic, but slightly different in certain ways. It reminds me, honestly, of Super Mario Bros. 2 USA, how the characters would have slight edges here and there that would just make you have your favorites and want to choose certain ones at certain stages. Having slight variations on Sonic's gameplay with small touches to the characters' arsenals is something that the Sonic series excels at, and we'll see more of in the future. Aside from all that, there is some other stuff to explore in this game, after all. I did look into it, and here's the thing. If you don't manage to get all the Hyper Emeralds, you can still unlock Doomsday Zone, so long as you get the Chaos Emeralds. It just means you're going to be in Doomsday Zone as Super Sonic instead of Hyper Sonic, which I don't think is quite as good. Also, just like in the last game, there's a split-screen multiplayer mode, although these are completely unique maps. I gotta give them credit for that. The music in these is pretty damn good, too. One of the immediate questions that may come to mind is, okay, you have Sonic 3, you have Sonic and Knuckles, you put them together, you get the full package, but what if you put something else on top of Sonic and Knuckles? Well, there's a couple of interesting instances. If you put just about any Genesis game on top, it'll say, hey, you're not meant to do that. If you put Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on top of the cartridge, you actually get a whole new experience. This is Knuckles the Echidna in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That's right, it's the entirety of Sonic 2 just with Knuckles as a playable character. Isn't that neat? It's kind of fascinating to me that when you buy the Sonic & Knuckles cartridge, you're either getting a great Sonic game on its own, a combination to Sonic 3 that makes the best Sonic game in my opinion, or added content to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, like an early form of DLC. Some of the intuition that early gaming had, you really gotta appreciate it these days. Well, that's it for my Sonic 3 and Knuckles extra part. I really hope you enjoyed this series. The Sonic videos are some of my favorite to do on the channel. In fact, they're also some of the most successful. In fact, this series has to be the most successful series I've had on the channel since starting it. So I want to thank all of you who watched and who subscribed. Even if you didn't watch the whole series or even a whole video, it really means a lot that you're coming by and giving me a chance, you know? Well, anyway, that's about it for now. I think that's going to be it for Sonic for the year. There's a lot of different Sonic handheld games I need to get around to at some point, like Sonic Chaos has a direct sequel. Although Sonic 3 would not get an 8-bit version like Sonic 1 and 2 did, that kind of era I guess it passed on. But I do have a lot of other fun series going on. Of course, Mario and Mother are going on right now. But also next week I'm going to be getting around to a kind of one-off episode on a game I've been really looking forward to that also relies a lot on speed, that being F-Zero X. I'll see you then.